Let's talk about how do we get those videos up there. So there's essentially 4 ways to upload video to my locker. The first way is the web page, and we're gonna talk a lot about the web page. In fact, I'm going to go through and show you exactly how to get things up into your locker via the PowerChalk web page. So it's just an upload web page. But I want to make you aware of 3 other ways that you can get video up to your locker. We have what's called the send to, or the right mouse. So if you're familiar with Windows, and this is by the way for the Mac users, even though we're very Mac compatible, this is what we call a helper app, and you'll find it under Apps, PC Helper Apps, and then Send to Uploader. And what that is, that's an executable. So you notice that when I hover over it, it offers me the ability to download this PowerChalk Send to setup. And if I do, and I install that on my machine, then every time that I pop up a Windows file browser, I have the ability to right mouse on any of the file names if it's a valid video file and say send to, and then click PowerChalk. So this is something, for example, that the Dodgers use. They use it regularly because they upload hundreds of videos, and what they do is whether those videos are on an SD card or whether they're on a hard drive, they can just easily right mouse each video. And you can even multi-select videos. Just right mouse it and say send to PowerChalk. And what will pop up is a little miniature dialog that collects the who, what, when, where about that video and then sends it straight into your locker. So that's really method number 2. Method number 3, and you'll also find it under that same PC Helper Apps, is what's called the PowerChalk Explorer. And where that comes in handy is, if you'll notice, it looks a lot like the Windows Explorer. All right, so it gives me the full tree of all of my hard drives on the left, and it gives me on the right, when I park on each one of those folders, it gives me the list of valid videos, and it also gives me a little miniature player. So I can click on this Curtis Granderson video, and I can now play it. Because many times as a coach, you go out and you shoot 500 videos, and you shoot them in small segments, maybe 1 or 2 swings at a time, and not all of them are usable. So especially when you're filming a game, you may get a curveball in the dirt, and you may get a wild pitch, and you may get a check swing, things that aren't really teachable moments. So with those videos, it's very often the case that you're going to throw 2/3 of them away. So what this lets you do is lets you go down the list and click on each one, play it, and say, oh, that's a keeper, that's a keeper. And you can now indicate, you can select the videos that you want to upload, and there's 2 tabs on here. Once you've identified and pretty much staged all the videos you want, then you go upload them all in mass. Okay, so that's what the PowerChalk Explorer is. It's a PC helper app to sort through your videos and pick the ones that you want to upload straight to PowerChalk. Okay, and again, we'll go through some of these in more detail on the second, third session, but I know part of learning PowerChalk is everyone wants to get straight to the telestrator, so I'm working my way as quickly as I can straight to the telestrator. And let's talk before we leave here about the mobile client. We do have mobile clients for Android, iPhone, and iPads. So if you're looking for those, go into the app stores or the Android marketplace and look for PowerChalk, and what you'll want to install, the app you'll want to download and install, is called the 10-second telestrator. And besides being a telestrator, it also has upload capability. So you'll have the ability with your mobile client to upload straight to your PowerChalk locker. All right, so let's talk about the upload page. So within PowerChalk, you have an upload pull down, and you could upload either videos or photos. So let's click videos, and it will bring me to a page that basically says what's the sport. We call this the who, what, when, where page, and what's the folder. And the folder is also, for us, we recommend that you use the athlete's name. So my son I have two boys, and I have Cole and Ian. If I have a clip of Cole from his baseball game, then I would put Henry, Cole, because he's got a couple nicknames, but he's always Henry. So if a coach is looking for those, then his videos, then we'll want to put his last name first. So in this case, it's a pitch, and this was on his 12U team, and let's say that he hit a fastball. And now what I do, once I filled in all of those pieces, then I simply, and you see the accepted file types here. We understand almost all of the known video file formats. What I simply do is click Add, and then I browse my way to the file that I'm looking for. So in this case, you notice I went to the SD card. So I've taken an SD card out of my camera, and I go to a folder called DCIM. DCIM, by the way, you'll see that on these camera cards, or on the camera itself, stands for Digital Camera Internal Memory. So that's a little factoid. Kodak started that decades ago, and a lot of the camera companies have followed suit. So I browse into there, and this particular SD card was not in that camera, but you get the idea. I would browse my way into the folder that has my videos, and I would select that video and say Save. That throws it in this list, and then I simply click Upload. So that very quickly is how to get a video up to your locker. Now, having said that, let me point out that there's two ways to go, even within recording with an external camcorder. Almost all of the camcorders these days have an SD card. And as you hit the start, stop button, you're creating individual files on the camcorder itself or on the SD card. So you still have two ways to go. You can tether the camera. You'll notice this wire that is running the length of my recorder here. So I've got the wire that's going into my laptop in this case, and then that laptop becomes a hard drive. So I would literally browse my way onto the hard drive that is this camera. Okay, the opposing approach is to take the SD card itself out. So in this case, I've taken the SD card out, and I've put it in the computer, and that becomes a hard drive. So either way, the web page that we talked about, the web page works, and it becomes the upload vehicle to bring the files, the video files, off of this camera. Be sure that you're matching those file names, because it has to be a valid video to come up to the page.